Hey, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. This is Chris Shoemaker, also known as Yehuda Ben Shomer, and welcome to the Weekly Way, your weekly devotional commentary on the Torah, Haftorah, and Brit Hadasha portions. Today we are in Parashah number 12, which is Vayechai, which means he lived, and it's taken from Genesis chapter 47, verse 28, all the way to chapter 50, verse 26. You know, blessings are a very powerful thing. Like the scripture says in Proverbs, life and death is in the power of the tongue. Blessings are more than just hey, I wish you well. In Hebraic thought, they hold prophetic significance. So every time we bless our sons and daughters on Shabbat, we're shaping their future and speaking life into their tomorrow. Now, there's a danger in speaking a meaningless or half-hearted blessing, or a blessing that you don't mean. They actually have the opposite effect of a blessing. They speak death into the person. My case in point is when Rivka, Rebecca's brothers and relatives, when they really didn't want her to go with Abraham's servant back to the land to marry Isaac, they felt obligated to give a blessing they give all brides. You know, oh, may you be blessed, may you be happy, may you have a lot of children, blah, 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 blah. But because they really didn't want their sister going, they didn't really mean the blessing. And so therefore the blessing brought a curse upon Rebecca and death in the form of the death of her womb, the infertility of her womb. So she had a bout with infertility until God healed her and delivered her from that, where she was able to have children. So back to the point at hand in our Torah portion. Our Torah portion, we see that Jacob is on his deathbed, and he blesses his sons. And in our Haftorah portion, we see that the last wishes were common on a Hebraic deathbed. So at the end of Genesis, we have Jacob giving a prophetic blessings to his sons, which end up becoming the 12 tribes of Israel. And, you know, a lot of times people have been able to use these blessings to kind of pinpoint or at least hint at or to help locate some of the lost 10 tribes of Israel that were taken off into Assyrian captivity and never returned, and therefore assimilated into the nations around them where they settled and found themselves. So these blessings have come true upon the children of Israel because of Jacob's blessing. We also see that Moses had a blessing for the 12 tribes, and they had a prophetic significance that shaped the future of the tribes as well. So in our Haftorah portion, we see in 1 Kings chapter 2, verses 1 through 12, that David is on his deathbed, and he's giving some last-minute instructions to Solomon, who is reigning as king after him. So it says, "Now the days of David drew nigh, that he should die, and he charged Solomon his son, saying, I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man, and keep the charges of the Lord thy God," meaning his Torah. "Walk in his ways, keep his statutes and his commandments, and his judgments and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses, that you may prosper in all that you do. And wheresoever thou turnest thyself, that the Lord may continue his word which he spake concerning me, saying, If thy children take heed to their way, to walk before me in truth with all their heart and all their soul, there shall not fail, said he, a man on the throne of Israel. Moreover, thou knowest also what Jacob, the son of Joab, the son of Zeruiah, did to me, and what he did to 2 captains of the host of Israel, unto Abner the son of Ner, and unto Amasa the son of Jether, whom he slew and shed the blood of war in peacetime, and put the blood of war upon his girdle, and upon his loins, and upon his shoes that were on his feet. Do therefore according to thy wisdom, and let not his gray head go down to the grave in peace." So David was saying, look, Joab needs to pay for his crimes. He needs to pay for what he's done. I couldn't do it in my lifetime, so now the task falls to you, Solomon, my son. So it goes on to say, "But show kindness unto the sons of Barzillai the Gileadite, and let them be of those that eat at thy table. For so they came to me when I fled because of Absalom thy brother. And behold, thou hast with thee Shimei, the son of Geri, a Benjamite of Bahurim," basically one of King Saul's descendants, "which cursed me with grievous curses in the day that I went to Menahem. But he came down to meet me at the Jordan, and I swear to him by the Lord, saying, I will not put thee to death with the sword. So as David was fleeing Absalom, this Benjamite descendant of Saul came and cursed him. And when he came back, he kind of sucked up to him and said, oh, I'm sorry for all these curses. He's like, okay, this is a day of celebration. I'm not going to put you to death today. So he's going to wait for his son Solomon to do it. So let's continue on with the text. Now therefore, hold him not guiltless, for thou art a wise man and knowest what thou ought to do to him. But his gray head bring down to the grave with blood. So David slept with his fathers and was buried in the city of David. And the days of David reigned over Israel were 40 years. 7 years reigned he in Hebron, and 33 years he reigned in Jerusalem. It's kind of interesting, too, that Yeshua, he lived on the earth and operated in that area for 33 years. Then sat Solomon upon the throne of David his father, and his kingdom was established greatly. So, David basically wants Solomon to take care of some unfinished business. Now, which leads us to the Brit Chadashah portion, which I've taken from 2 Timothy 4:7. It says, these are the words of the Apostle Paul, Rav Shaul. He says, I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. So Rav Shaul's deathbed confession was that he had no regrets. Many of us will not be lucky enough to have last words such as David or Jacob. So we need to live our lives in such a way that as the way that we live itself is a blessing, and commission to keep on keeping on, and the testimony with no regrets. So, you know, here David knew he was going to die. The Apostle Paul knew he was going to be executed. Jacob knew he was going to die, but we won't always have that luxury. So we need to live our lives in such a way that we are blessed to be a blessing, that we love and we bless other people, that we don't live our life in such a way as cursing ourselves through disobedience or cursing other people. But we need to live our lives in such a way that we live as a blessing, and we just keep on keeping on, and that we have a good testimony that we leave behind for others, and so that we can die, and if we don't have a deathbed confession or any last words, that we can still die with no regrets. Anyway, this is the Torah, Haftorah, and Brit Chadashah portions for Parashah number 12, Vayekhe he lived. Thanks so much for listening. God bless, Shabbat Shalom, and Shavua Tov. AbrahamsDescendants.com, getting back to the first century in a 21st century way. Thanks for watching. Stay connected by subscribing to our other social media accounts and visiting our website at AbrahamsDescendants.com.